Welcome back to the Vendor Table, presented by Aftershoot, the AI culling, editing, and retouching program designed to give you your time back so you could focus on the important things. What's up, Lauren?
What do you think about Mike's radio host voice?
I mean, you definitely have a face for radio.
Thank you. Thank you, Vanessa.
That?
Thanks, Vanessa.
I don't think you got the insult.
Oh, I do get it.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, you do have a
if you didn't,
I get
if
it
you
now.
didn't hear that voice, okay, we're here with the lovely Vanessa Joy.
The Vanessa Joy.
The Vanessa Joy.
Nice to be here.
Okay, so for the past 20 plus years, Vanessa has been photographing events, portraits, and marketing projects. Her work has been published by Yahoo News, Style Me Pretty, Rangefinder, Professional Photographer Magazine, and so much more. She's been hired by companies like Bravo, Canon, David Attire, The Knot, Hilton, all while educating tens of thousands of pros worldwide as a sought-after speaker for over a decade. Vanessa is also a Canon Explorer of Light, an honor given to just 5 wedding photographers in the United States, and she's also the author of 4 books on photography and business. Damn, Vanessa!
I'm tired.
It's a hell of a lineup.
We're a stop on the Vanessa Joy World Tour.
We are not worthy.
Like legitimately, Vanessa has circumvented the globe. Like legitimately, I saw you were in Africa. You were we met you at WBBI, which was just fan.
So much fun.
It was an honor to ride the back of your scooter.
You were the only one I let ride the back of my scooter. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's an honor bestowed to you, Lauren.
Cry.
Well, we were just talking off air how I fangirled when I met you. I was just I fangirled in my head. Okay, because I've been following.
You kept it cool.
I did. It's just
Mike internalized it. I externalized everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I wore my fangirling right out there on the sleeve. And he was like, before he gave me this huge pep talk that was just like, all right, we got to be cool. We're going to be, we got to be cool, Lauren. And I was like, totally. Yeah, I get it. Oh my God. And I couldn't keep it together.
Yeah.
But that's why we go to the conferences, so we can meet all our people.
Yeah.
The people who don't go to conferences are missing out, man.
I'm just I love WBBI. I've been to that show so many times, but it was the first time I went as a speaker, presenter, overall just an attendee. I always went to work there as an exhibitor. And it was just so cool to meet other creatives and be able to interact with them and talk to them for more than 2 seconds at a trade show booth.
Yep.
So now I get why people love going to those shows.
Yeah.
And it was cool. We met you and we were
And
just,
I met you.
Yeah.
but
We snuggled.
We snuggled on a bed.
they snuggled on a bed.
Yeah, he didn't.
I did not.
Oh, that's
I
right.
was like,
No, Mike stood very much off to the side because
purpose.
he is a good husband.
that's right. Okay. That's right.
That's
okay?
right.
But but when we met, I was just I've been following your work for so long.
Thank you.
I've been in the industry since I'd say photographing weddings since 2013. But I've been a photographer since 2009. I'd say like that. You've been doing this for 2 decades, which is so incredible.
A bit, yeah.
And it's wild to see you're always at the forefront of everything. But keeping up with the times is something very hard photographers have a hard time with that.
I think it's even harder for wedding professionals, period.
Yeah.
Because wedding professionals have to constantly update what they do because their demographic of who they're serving is constantly evolving. They're in the midst of whatever is happening in pop culture. So I think wedding professionals have the most difficult time staying relevant, which is why you see so many of them last, 5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the NFL,
Yeah.
the lifespan of a photographer isn't too long.
It's not. Or any wedding professional, florist, anyone.
Yeah,
If you make it past 5 years, you're doing great.
You are doing great.
I always say if you made it through COVID, you're
a legend.
thriving. You're thriving, even in the hard times. But now, can you take us back a little to the early days? What drew you first to weddings specifically?
This is how early the early days are. There was no Instagram. Mm-hmm. There were any social media whatsoever. And I worked for my high school photography teacher who did weddings on the weekends. It was so long ago. I had to fight with that man to get a website.
Wow.
It's we don't need websites. We just need the biggest ad in the Yellow Pages.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. So that's how old I am. But so that's all I knew. I had a high school photography teacher, which is where I fell in love with photography. Then afterwards, I went to school for a real job. I became a Spanish teacher. But I love photography, so I worked for him on the weekends. And then in my head, that's what you could do. Because my mom was a photographer, but she was really a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
And like did photography sometimes. And then he was a wedding photographer, but he was really a high school photography teacher. And that's just what I was exposed to. So that's what I fell into. And I don't regret it. Weddings are the best.
Yeah. I always like kind of say like, I feel like you fall into weddings more than like you pursue weddings. Is that like,
Yeah.
I'll be honest, like when I first started, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be a wedding photographer.
Yeah.
No. And then I was like, I could probably be a wedding photographer. Now I'm like, shit, I love shooting weddings.
Well, because also, yeah, not wedding photography, but a lot of brides become florists or planners, not photographers. No.
yeah.
I'm not going to say we work the hardest, but we might work
You know
the
what?
longest.
I just feel like with photographers, it's, you like with a wedding photographer, you have to be good at like everything.
Every genre.
Like you have to be a good portraiture artist, right? You have to be
Good with people.
good with people, like good customer service, right? You have to be a good organizer, like organizing groups, staying on timeline, things like that. Good landscape photographer. You want to take those pretty landscape shots, venue shots, things like that. Like macro photography, even like so. There's like so many little facets of wedding photography that like tie into every. And it's just weird, like, because I was thinking about this a while back, too. I was like, how did I get into wedding photography? And, like, you just kind of, you
fell into it,
I
too?
fell into it, yeah.
Okay.
It's like, so I didn't want to be a wedding photographer. It's just like you fall in love with it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's, is that what happened to you? Like, a little bit? It's just like.
You fall in love with love. And, I was maybe 19 when I shot my first wedding.
Okay.
And that's like, I had a serious boyfriend at the time, so you just like picture yourself. And then I was very fortunate. I aged as the client demographic age raised. So I was like the same age as my brides for like couples for like 15 years.
Okay.
Like that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to lie. I look at them negatively sometimes.
Yeah, it's funny because like what do they say? Like we get old, we always get older.
We get older,
but the couples stay the same age, kind of thing. And it's like what is that from Dazed and Confused? So it's like a Matthew McConaughey line, right? But that's what it is. It's just like is there a point now? Like we talked about this.
Yeah, we just had this conversation recently. I don't think that episode has aired yet, but it will. Where. Like, are we aging out? Is that possible to age out? But we also had a conversation was like, is there a certain age where you just simply can't relate to your clients anymore?
It's not an age, it's a mindset because you choose not to relate to your clients. You choose not to watch the same stuff that they're watching on TikTok. Like you choose to just not stay in there. And I don't think it's a bad choice one way or another. Like you can decide what you want to fill your life with. But ultimately, if you're in the wedding professional, you have to choose to be where your clients are. We've always had to do that. And the second you don't, that's when you age out, which for the record is definitely my biggest fear.
Yeah.
But you can be the Miranda Priestley of wedding photography. Or you watch Emily in Paris?
No.
Oh, man. I was looking at her. I know you didn't watch it.
Mike will now.
I mean, no, but like I watch some stupid ass shows, so
But there's Emily in Paris Netflix show, like kind of trendy. Definitely
I watched a couple of
vibe.
episodes.
Yeah, well, there's an older woman, and she's just like full of class, and she's still a badass. Same thing like Miranda Priestley from The Devil Wears Prada. Like she's older, 60s probably in that, but she's still a badass, and it's because she, that character has chosen to still be in there, and it gets harder and harder and harder because we're not there naturally. Like I'm not. Oh no, that's a lie. I'm definitely naturally scrolling TikTok, but at some point, like we're not naturally in that area, so like you have to work to be there.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, and then I mean, we see this all the time in our comment section. There's people that are just like, no, I shouldn't have to do that. My art is my art. I'm not blah blah blah.
You know what? Who do you serve? You're serving yourself and your art, fine. But if you're here to serve a client and you're in the wedding industry, that means you're serving a client. Then shut up.
You ever heard it from Vanessa Joy?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Shut up, people. Now, all right, looking back at your early work, okay, like your early, like the early days of wedding photography, I'm sure you were shooting film, things like that, like the evolution, everything like that. But what's something that makes you cringe? And also, what's something maybe that you're still proud of? You look back on, like.
I mean, everything makes me cringe. Don't you look back at your work and you cringe?
Oh yeah,
we had a whole clip about that. Yep.
the whole time. Yeah.
I mean, the guilt I have when I look at some of the, I'm like, oh, I should refund them now. It's been 20 years, but I should like offer to do something.
Yeah,
it's
like,
I don't care.
God bless you that you kept you stayed
man.
with me.
Yeah.
You let me shoot more. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like the repeat clients, you're like, oh my God, I shot your wedding like 10 years ago, and it was horrible.
It was horrible. You still like me? Okay, fine. But, oh, yeah. So, I mean, so the work makes me cringe, but at the same time, it's a little nostalgic. It's like film, right? Came back because it was nostalgic. Direct Flash came back because it's nostalgic, even though in our heads it's cringe if you were back in the day when like Direct Flash meant you didn't know how to use your Flash.
Yeah.
So things that are cringe, can be made new.
Yeah, it's so funny how, old becomes new and stuff like that. Yeah, like I did a tutorial on Direct Flash and it had like 200,000 views. And I was just like, this is like, I'm cringing making this.
Because it's like the most basic of basic.
Yeah.
It doesn't get much more direct than that.
Oh,
See what I did there?
Yeah.
Like we worked our asses off to master off-camera Flash, and
Kill
now
the shadows.
now nobody wants it.
Yeah.
I could care less, man. If I don't have to bring my light stands, I don't have to set up a flash or clamp something that's gonna fall. Like I'm all for it. Like,
Now watch, that will come back
direct.
in like the next 5 years. It'll be
will.
like
Oh, it will.
3-point lighting. Everyone's
Yes.
gonna be like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
It's cyclical.
Do you remember? You probably used it. So I worked for Tiffin when Tiffin made the GL1, like the little gun light thing with the LED. Do you remember that?
Was it the Andy Marcus?
Yeah,
Andy and Brian Marcus.
Annie and Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I worked for them when they made that, and I thought that thing was revolutionary.
It was.
It, like,
and the
for-
one Doug Gordon made something similar, right?
Yeah. So like it was like I remember the light bars and stuff like that. And now I'm seeing like photographers using light bars again, and I'm like, oh my God, what is this, like 2012, 2013?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have this cute little hobo light, and it's called Harlow light now. That it's just the same light pattern as the gun. Like, you pop it on.
I keep seeing that thing pop up, and I'm like, do I need one? Do I need one?
It's so cute.
I still have my GL1 in it. It probably doesn't work. Like the batteries are probably long drained, but it was like so expensive that like I remember like I was like telling the company, I was like, you got to bring the price down. This thing is like will change the wedding industry and stuff like that. And the only people that were really using that light were like influencers and pros, because it was really cool. But now I look back,
$500.
it was like $700.
Yeah, that's up there.
Yeah, so like not too many people were buying it, but it's so funny to see it like evolve and like technology evolve and how things have gotten so much easier too. Like
So much easier.
right?
My God.
Isn't it great? Like
And even you know what I cringe about the most? Not to like backtrack. I cringe most about things that like I wore to weddings.
oh
I cringe most about what I wore, maybe how I acted that was like not as refined as I know how to behave now.
yeah,
Or like relationships I totally missed or like should have made but didn't.
okay,
I cringe on that more than
Right.
anything else.
Yeah.
Because that still has an effect. Like if I had made that relationship with that person at that time, like who knows the ramifications of that now, like the butterfly effect. I think that's what I cringe about.
The butterfly effect is like a big thing right now.
Oh, is it?
It's like it's one of those TikTok trends that's going around. What do you mean the butterfly effect? Blah, 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 blah. And then they said, they go off on
if
this
I
like
would've
whole
done
tangent.
this.
Yeah. If I wouldn't have done this, then I wouldn't have done this and all that stuff. But yes, that is a valid point.
yeah. I have a butterfly effect like story, and it's not tied to the wedding industry at all, but like
Do tell.
okay, you want to know my butterfly effect story? So
Well, you
okay.
brought it up. We have to know now.
Okay, well I was
We'll seem like assholes
Otherwise,
if we
I'll
don't
think about
ask.
it all day.
All right. So for our listener audience, I was a professional video game player in my college years. Okay, I played Call of Duty.
How did I not know this?
Okay, well maybe you I've pretty much told you. Okay, but I played
I
professional.
knew you were a nerd. I just didn't know you were
big
that
nerd.
big of a nerd.
Oh, big nerd. Okay, so I was ranked top 10 in the world playing.
What?
Oh yeah, Call of Duty. Like you look me up. Like
And then
like
you
like.
picked up a camera?
Okay, so I was in college. 2008, 2009 was like the last year I played competitively. But I would travel. I went to Texas. I went to all over the place. to
Pause.
play.
What was your gamer tag? Tell the world.
Squilliam. It was Squilliam Fancy Pants, which was this character from SpongeBob.
It's Skilliam Fancy
And
Son.
then it went to Squilliam, and then it went to Squill, and that was my
Squill.
yes. Now I go by Mikey Sunsets on all gamer profiles.
Great.
By the way, but at the same point, that was my username, my handle, And but I always laugh because I met my wife during that time. Okay, like she became my girlfriend and everything like that. I lost interest in gaming. And because I lost interest in gaming, I stopped playing. And I had friends that go on, they went and compete. They went to Belgium, they went all over the place. And then this is when streaming came about, like Twitch and all that stuff. I know about 10 of them that are big time Twitch streamers, and they are, you know, 1 million followers and all this stuff. And I still keep in touch with them, and they're doing phenomenal. But I often joke with my wife that I'm like, butterfly effect. If I didn't meet you, I'd be like, you know, living in a mansion somewhere, like gaming, playing video games my whole life.
You ruined it.
I was like, now I'm an old man, and I play video games and get smoked by 16-year-olds, so it's totally fine. I'm
That's
good.
not where I thought you were going to take this at all.
Right? Crazy.
I hope Sarah never hears this episode.
She knows it all the time. I tell her that all the time. I'm like, babe, you know, during COVID, because I was just like, I'm going to play video games again. I laughed, like, because I was just like, you know, I could pick this back up, and then I picked it back up, and I was just like, I am not good enough to do this anymore. I'm too old.
You're old and out of practice.
Yeah, it's, you know, but I always laugh at that. But, you know, you've had a front row seat, shifting back into this, okay. You've had a front row seat to how the wedding industry has evolved. What would you say are the biggest changes you've seen in the last 20 years?
I mean, social media is the big one, right? And if you want to butterfly effect that, it went from social media just kind of being there to it being the primary place you found clients. Like, that's huge. That's a big one. Because before then, it was the venues, and they would gatekeep. I mean, they still kind of do. Like, you know, if you weren't on their list, like, you were just kind of the bottom scum trying to pick up, you know, weddings here and there.
Yeah.
So that changed the game completely for every wedding professional. But then now that it evolved and more like TikTok, think about the way that the wedding day is planned and like how you do timing. Now I have to make sure there's enough time for the hair and makeup artist to get the content that they need. We have to make sure that we have time to do all the different things that they saw on TikTok that they want to do, which used to be just a first look with the groom. Now it's with the dad and the bridesmaid and like whatever it is. And then of course, wedding content creators, like that's actually created a whole new genre of vendor. Like social media is, I think, the biggest thing that has changed it in so many ways.
A lot of people who are entering this industry, like, they only know social media.
Yeah.
They only know what this industry is like with social media. But people like us, I mean, people like you in particular, I started doing this doing weddings full time in 2016. So social media was already there, but it wasn't as prevalent during that time. It was just kind of like Instagram was still just social.
Yeah.
It wasn't really like a business tool, maybe for like people who have been in the industry since the advent of Instagram, which was probably around what, 2011?
Something like that. Yeah.
2012, around that time. So I feel like when you're entering this industry as Gen Z or something like that, they only know it with it as a tool to use for business. Whereas like you started at a time where it didn't exist and then have grown with it.
Yeah.
So
Do you feel like that's like lowered the barrier of entry?
I wouldn't say that it lowered the barrier to entry. I just think it leveled the playing field
Okay.
for a lot of vendors. Because again, if you were not on this planner, on this venue's recommended list, like there was no other way to make it, right? Like other than your Yellow Page ad. So now there's another way to be seen. And I think that's fantastic because it made it so much more accessible. Now, is there a downside to that? Sure. But there's a downside to any uptick in the industry.
Yeah. I've seen, I don't remember when like the bridal showcases, like where
Yes.
you know, like
Yes.
let's not forget.
like I could say I never did a bridal showcase.
Yeah.
Like I've never,
Oh, I definitely.
They're
They're still useful.
Yeah. I feel like probably you should do one just to see how they go. And like, I know you could get a lot of business from them still to this day. But like, I would probably do a venue specific one if it was me. Like I would probably just want to do a venue specific one. But at the same point, I know they're like very useful. But back in the day, I remember that was how you found your vendor. I got married in 2014, and in 2013 we went to a bridal showcase, and that's how we found our vendors. Was like the only one we didn't find at that showcase was our photographer, because I had been following this photographer for years on Flickr and like
Flickr.
the Flickr days, and I was just like, and the Canon forums. Remember the Canon forums?
Yes, I do. Digital
that
wedding forum.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Like I loved that forum, and that's where I found his work and everything like that. But everybody else I found from bridal showcases. So it's crazy to see I've seen venues post them. They're not nearly as active as they once were.
No, but think about that. If it's not oversaturated, then you have a better chance of getting more business.
It is.
So it's a full circle. Same thing with direct mail.
Mm-hmm.
Direct mail made a comeback because no one was doing it, and everyone was like, "Oh wait, that's untapped again. Let me go back."
You still do direct mail? You do?
I think I may have done direct mail like one time, and it didn't work out, so I didn't do it again.
Okay. Like email lists, I'm guessing you do? Like you have like email
I
lists?
do email lists, but not as much. I have an email list for like my education side that's a little bit more active, but I do it very selectively. So I am on a preferred venue list. They give me the emails. I will reach out to them like twice.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to, I don't do a newsletter. I just don't think anybody gives a crap.
No, they'll unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's
I subscribe to get the discount, and then I opt out.
yeah.
Always.
Now speaking of education, this is how I found you. But you're a leading educator in the photography
Mike's
space.
blushing.
Listen, fucking, do you guys know like it's Vanessa Joy? Vanessa Joy is right here. You know how fucking cool that is? I'm sorry, okay? But when we started this fucking podcast, I never thought I'd have Vanessa Joy sitting across from me. It's very exciting, okay?
Very exciting.
And she knew who we were when we walked up to
so
her. I was like,
cute.
this is so great. Okay. But okay, fangirl. Shut up, people. All right? I
Be
know.
cool, Mike. Be cool.
Had my moment. Shutting it down.
So we're super excited to announce a partnership with Aftershoot. Aftershoot AI is designed to speed up and simplify every step of the process, from importing, culling, editing, and exporting. Aftershoot truly changed the game for us as wedding photographers.
I love Aftershoot.
Isn't it so great?
Yeah, culling is super easy. Editing is super easy. You train your own profile based on the way that you edit.
It's so good.
You know what my favorite part is?
What is it?
Unlimited edits.
Isn't that great? Like, it's just, you pay one price per month or per year. You're locked in. Amazing. Edit as much as you want on the go. Like, you could be on an airplane and it works.
Okay, I changed my mind. That's the best part.
Like, love that. Like you be on the go. You don't need internet to work the program. It is so simple, so easy to use, and it's incredible. And I think you guys should try it out.
You can cull thousands of photos in minutes with AI that helps identify the best selections. Build an editing profile based on the way that you edit, or you can even select one from top industry pros. Export right into Lightroom, Capture One, or Bridge for fast and accurate results.
So with an Aftershoot subscription, you get an all-in-one AI assistant that can cull, edit, crop, straighten, export, and now you could also retouch using it as well. No paying an extra. It's all included.
You can try it for free for 30 days using the link in the show notes and use code TVT15 for 15% off a subscription purchase. Wedding vendors. Do you need a contract? The Legal Paige is a legal education platform for small businesses and a contract template shop. They help you get legally legit in minutes.
So we're super excited to partner with them. Lauren, I know you've been using them for a long time, and I started using them last year. Damn.
Listen, on top of being one of my favorite people in the universe, Paige has created such an amazing resource for wedding vendors.
They are the resource for wedding pros looking for full-length contracts, short forms, a la carte clauses. So whether you're a photographer, videographer, planner, florist, DJ, you name it, the Legal Paige is a contract that will make your business legally legit.
All contracts have been reviewed and critiqued by industry-leading professionals and come with free future updates made by the Legal Paige's legal team.
So Paige also is a retired wedding and family photographer, but she is an attorney, so she has a very unique perspective and expertise when it comes to photography contracts.
She offers free education through their blog posts, podcast episodes, and YouTube channel.
You know what's super cool about this, Lauren?
What?
We got a code,
I love codes.
right? So you could use code TVT10, and you know what that gets you?
10% off.
Anything in the shop. So you want to get your business legally legit? Check out the Legal Paige. You ever just feel like you're playing catch up with inquiries?
Nuh-uh,
Why not?
because I have HoneyBook.
Isn't HoneyBook like the absolute best?
Yeah, it's been game-changing for my business.
It is like the biggest game changer for wedding creatives, for wedding vendors. You don't understand it until you're in it.
Everything is fully automated. You can have the AI, like pretty much take care of everything for you and only just personalize everything as you go.
Exactly. So like now the second someone inquires, they get automated personalized messages without like lifting a finger. That's like the biggest thing for me. I'm getting back to my clients quicker. I'm giving them like personalized responses. You can't beat that with a CRM platform.
No, my workflow on the back end has been so much more streamlined since signing up with HoneyBook, I think 4 years ago.
It's like having a business partner that just makes you look super professional. And follow-ups handled. You don't even have to think about it. HoneyBook keeps everything running behind the scenes.
Which means more book clients without the stress. Honestly, if you're still manually chasing leads, it's time to switch to HoneyBook.
Do it. Get your time back, grow your business, start your free trial today with the link in our description.
But Vanessa, you're a leading educator in the photography space. When did you realize you had like a passion for teaching?
Oh, well, I used to be a teacher.
Yeah.
I used to be a Spanish teacher. So I always liked teaching. I very quickly discovered I don't like teaching 3rd through 5th grade kids.
Oh, yeah. Rough.
No. They're fine. The administration is worse. Like I don't like being micromanaged. Who does, right? That's why we all own our own businesses. Like
Correct.
no one can tell me what to do except every one of my clients. But the education side, I had gone to a conference. I don't remember if it was like imaging or WPPI. Was someone I went to see a photographer I followed who I loved, and like I couldn't wait to hear how he did what he did because it was a very distinct style. And he got up there and he spoke, and I learned 0 things. I'm like, okay. He doesn't know how to teach. I have a degree in teaching. I know how to teach. I can teach anyone anything. So I was good at marketing at the time. I was not bold enough to be pretending I knew how to teach photography itself, but I was really good at marketing. So I taught marketing for a regional PPA in the back of a diner here in Jersey, which since has burned to the ground.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And I taught marketing. And then, one thing leads to another. And, if you have something good to say, then, okay, the state convention wants you to come say it there, and then regional, and then, whatever. And then just thankfully, at that point, I knew the power of relationships, and I built relationships very strategically in the industry so that I would keep that ball rolling. And I love teaching. I love when people come up to me and tell me like the result of my teaching. And it's fine when it's like, oh, you taught me Flash. Oh, you taught me how to pose. I feel more comfortable. Wonderful. Like, that's great. My favorite thing, though, is when I have people come up to me and they're like, you taught me how to put food on my table. You taught me how to like take my business from drowning to thriving. And that like gives me goosebumps because it's that Chinese proverb, like you give someone a fish, like you feed them for a day, but you teach them how to fish, you feed them for a lifetime. And I love that. If there's anything that I'm still the most passionate about, it's about that. It's about teaching photographers how to thrive in this thing that they love.
Love that. That's like,
Clip that.
yeah. Fuck yeah.
Boom. That was great. Love that.
No, but that's so
No,
true.
it's true.
It's very true. And I saw you described your teaching style as open book. So what does that that's obviously resonated really well with your audience.
Well, I hope so.
I would say
think
so.
so.
I would think so. But what does that look like in practice, and why has that resonated so well with your audience?
I mean, in practice, like I'm going to tell you when I screw up. I'm going to tell you the times I have. I'm going to tell you, I will flat out, you sign up for my email list, and at some point in there, I show you my tax returns. Because so much of what's out there when it comes to education is just such bullshit. Oh my God. Like, it is incredible that we all get the ads. We all get the ads. And I am not saying that a photographer cannot become an educator, because that's exactly what I did. I'm simply saying that if after 3 years you start teaching and come at it as like I know everything, and then we find out later that your business is not even operating in the black, like, ooh, that kills me. So I will flat out like open up my client management software and let you see exactly how much I'm making this month. Like, when I say open book, like I will show you all of it. I'll talk to you about investing in houses, in retirement, tax strategies. Like, I don't care. I'll show you all of it.
I think people really appreciate that, but I also think that so many people don't know what you just said. So there's a lot of especially newer photographers who are just breaking into this industry and are seeing dollar signs and going, I can do this. Like, I have the talent. I know I can do it. And they don't have the background in business, and they will see these ads from people who are like, want to make 6 figures, as a photographer.
I have the magic bullet. Yay.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, and it says something flashy like I've coached this many people to becoming blah, 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 right? And that person is going to look at it and be like, I need to invest thousands of dollars into this person. They know what they're doing. And then it comes to find out this person hasn't shot within the last 5 years. We had this conversation at WPPI, and I think it's a huge conversation that needs to be had. Mm-hmm. If you have not shot a wedding in the last 5 years, even 3 years, are you even a wedding photographer?
Can you teach me how to run my photography business?
Yeah. It's, I think there's, if you want to be an instructor or a teacher, you still need to be doing it.
You have to be relevant. And, and it's not with everything, right? Can I quit weddings tomorrow and still teach you how to lead group photo for the rest of my life? Sure. Can I quit weddings tomorrow and then for the rest of my life teach you like old ass marketing practices? No. Right? Like, so there's things you can and things you can't. And I see a lot of it and it drives me insane. So I recently, I'll tell you, I started a mastermind. And as far as I know, I am the only active photographer that is teaching one-on-one masterminds like this. And it is infuriating when I have people, because I interview people to be in the mastermind, and it drives me insane. But like, yeah, I'm in so-and-so's mastermind, which is not even a mastermind. It's just like a Q&A call with God knows how many people on it every 3 weeks. And I'm getting all this advice from them. And I'm like, I'm sorry, they told you to do what exactly on social media? Make sure you put your phone number and email in every post. Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Like, and I don't even know how to because I'm not combative in nature, so I'm not gonna be like, wow, they suck. I'm just gonna be like, oh, good. How's that working out for you?
Oh, yeah.
Is it good?
But the things I hear, it's just wild, and it drives me up a wall. It kills me.
Yeah.
Because so many new photographers, like you said, it's shiny. It looks like the magic bullet. This must be the thing. And there are some people, and I haven't taken, I'll say one person that I think on the back end from what I've seen is successful. Have you seen Peyton
Helm?
Yes.
We were just talking about him before he walked in.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
So he sells on Facebook ads and doing it in a way where it's not like this enter to win thing. And I've never taken his course, but from what I can tell and from the people that I know that have been in there, like that is a magic bullet for Facebook ads, right? And that's great. But what about the rest of it? What about, okay, great. I am great at Facebook ads and now I'm like booked up the wazoo. Now you need the rest of it so you don't end up being that photographer that doesn't deliver images or show up or double book or like the magic bullets are great, but you need the whole thing.
Yeah. Getting people through the door is one thing, but then like having them and keeping them there.
Yes.
Keeping them at that table to,
Right.
seal the deal.
We've seen horror stories of people who like see quick success with booking, right?
Yes.
They're like, okay, great. I have all these bookings. And then they realize very quickly, oh shit, I'm overwhelmed and I don't have enough hands to help me run this. And then they tank.
They spend all the money.
Or they spend all the money.
Yep.
And then they disappear.
And then we get those horror stories and we read them here.
Yep.
But that's the truth. Like you see if a photographer that may be able to take a really pretty photo and they're excellent. Their Instagram game, awesome. Great grid, great profile, all that stuff. It can attract.
Full of styled shoots. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you already know how we've done.
Vanessa,
I can't do this again. We just spent an hour.
Oh, Vanessa. Oh, she knows what show she's on, people.
God, we got so much heat.
Ugh. But we love
The
it.
last time. Actually, it was just from one person who blocked us. So whatever. I don't
Okay,
care.
yeah, that's like great. Okay. But no, but that's the truth. Like they have a beautiful curated grid and like amazing, and they get people through the door, but they don't have the back end business acumen to really secure that and have a good business practice. I mean, at the end of the day, right? Like you're not like we're behind the camera. What 10% of the time when we're servicing clients?
That's about right.
So when you think about that,
That sounded so dirty. I'm sorry. When we're servicing clients.
yeah, that's right.
Sorry.
We're servicing the needs
I'm from
of
Jersey.
clients.
I have no class deep down.
She's on the right show,
You're in
people.
good company.
She's on the right show, people. I listened to you on Summer's podcast, by the way, and it was such a great conversation. But I was just like, I can't wait to have her on our show, and she's just gonna like absolutely the jersey's gonna come out. I
can't wait until we talk about the big elephant in the room.
I know.
we'll talk about that in a
I've been
little bit.
being
It's fine.
polite. I'm not going to be the one to bring it up. I don't like confrontation.
You want to bring it up? You want to do it right now?
I do.
To you?
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Hey, Vanessa Joy, what are your thoughts on the 2870 F2?
I don't know. What are your thoughts? Hold on, it's in my bag. Should I go get it?
You want to go get it?
Straight from the mouth of your idol.
Okay, listen. Okay, I just think it's an overrated lens.
Why?
Why? I just think. Okay, here's the thing. Okay,
From somebody who's never used it?
I've used it. I did try it.
When?
What? When it came out, I tried it.
When?
Because I had CPS. I tried it.
At a wedding?
What? At a wedding? Yes, at a wedding. Not with you.
No, because you told me it was an engagement shoot. So which one is it, Michael?
Okay, well, it was a wedding. I tried it at a wedding for, I would say, the prep through portraits. I didn't love it.
Why?
Because it just didn't have it. Lenses have character. Mm-hmm. Okay, every lens has character. Mm-hmm. Every single lens. I just didn't like the character of the lens. People tout it, including yourself, as this end-all be-all. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's the only lens you need. It's so fucking amazing. Okay, shit like that. I just feel like that's not true. That's my take here. I just want a little more character from a lens.
Okay, but keep going.
Okay.
Why do you want character from a lens?
Because when I want my images to have a little bit more, I don't know, maybe it's pop, maybe it's just like they stand out a little bit more. Do I need to shoot at f1.8 or 1.4 or 1.2? No, and I normally don't. But like I think a lot of people now are putting that lens, they buy that lens, it's 28 to 70, they just open the aperture to f2, and they're like, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I'm like, bro, it's good, but it's not that great. And I'm just not going to pull that out for portraits. I would say it is an excellent, phenomenal second shooter lens. Excellent photojournalism lens. Excellent for like capturing like throughout the day. Great, okay? But I think it's overrated. That's just me. Sorry. Fuck. Okay, there we go. Okay? Elephant in the room. Go ahead, Vanessa. You want to grill me? Go ahead.
You know what the problem is? You started every one of those sentences with the word I.
Yes, I know I. Yes, I know.
When you were a wedding photographer, the main point is not you.
I know. It's the couple.
It's the client and couple. And your clients don't know the difference when they look at the images in general between good and great photography, but definitely don't see the characteristics that you do.
No, of course they don't.
However, they will see the difference between, oh crap, did you miss that shot because you were doing this, going from one camera to the other, taking one lens off and putting another lens on. And if you're serving your clients correctly, you are choosing your gear based on what gets them the best result that they can see. That's why I love that lens.
Oh, God damn it. She's good. She's really good. Okay, great
When
point.
I shoot for myself, for the record, like if you look at like YouTube and when I get to shoot for myself with like models, I don't use that lens. Yeah. I use my 50-1.2. I use my 85-1.2 all day long.
So
if I'm servicing someone else.
When Vanessa Joy is servicing someone else.
Then I'm going to choose my gear based on what's best for them.
And I do hear that. Like for the faster moments, I could see the benefit of it. Okay. Like she works alongside me a lot. Like she second shoots for me a lot. And I see the benefits of that, especially ceremonies, incredible. Or documentary moments, incredible. Great lens, okay? But is that a lens I'm going to use for portraiture? No. Like, is that a lens I'm going to use for even, let's say, speeches and toasts and stuff like that? Like, I'm 135 and a 50. Like, that's where I love a long lens. I love primes for that. I need a little background blur. I need, to have that stuff, okay?
Oh, I love the 135 for speeches. Although, have you tried the 100 to 300 2.8 during a reception?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God. Get that next from CPS.
Yeah.
It's so heavy. It is obnoxious as can be, but it looks so darn good.
Yeah, I sold my 70 to 200 when I got my 135 because I just...
Oh, I don't own one. I haven't owned one ever.
Yeah?
Almost. Yeah.
You never owned it? Like, I just didn't love...
Because primes are better.
Primes are...
100%.
All right.
100%. Primes are better.
Okay. That was part of my argument, too.
Okay.
So,
your argument was that it was overrated, not that it was a bad lens.
I never said it was a bad lens. Listen, it's a beautiful piece of glass. Like, Jesus, what is that? It's a 90 millimeter optic, filter optic.
It's also helpful for me. So my backpack that you saw I brought in today, I'm going to shoot engagement sessions and I travel 150 days. It sucks. It sounds glamorous. It's not. But I travel with my gear. So if I can bring a 20 to 70 and 135, which is exactly what I have in my bag, and I can carry that around the world versus 4 different lenses.
Yeah.
way better. Way better.
I'm sure. I would throw a 50 in there just because I want to pour, like, you know, a 50.
Listen, Michael,
I just like a 50.
I have a 50 in my bag at all times. I will use it on engagement shoots. But when I'm shooting a wedding, and this is one of the main reasons that I bought this lens, is because I don't want to run back and forth to my couple during portraits when a video team is standing right next to me.
That's a good one.
I don't want to get in their way. I don't want to have to take turns. I want to be able to get those things at the same exact time for efficiency.
Yes. Actually, so I worked this past weekend.
Yes, you do.
I don't get in their way.
Don't you effing lie to me.
I don't get in their way.
Because I remember
I've seen, you know, there's a Facebook group for photographers getting in the way of videographers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
It's
called Move Out the Way.
I don't get in the way.
I'm
I don't know
immediately
if you're in
joining.
there.
That's a very photographer thing to say. I noticed that I was getting in videographer's way, so I bought that lens.
Yeah. I with that lens, so I work with videographers all the time, obviously. But this past weekend, I did a 5-day wedding at the Breakers in West Palm Beach. Just kill me. That
5-day wedding?
Oh God, there are no words for this wedding. It was lovely. It was. I can't even say actually who it was for because it was at like kind of NDA. Like I can't even describe it. But there was a Chinese tea ceremony, full-fledged wedding day, and an American wedding, full-fledged wedding day.
Oh wow.
And then 3 other days of like other
Events and stuff. Wow.
ceremonials. But the videographers, because there was 8 of us total, we would be next to each other. And they'd be like, "Oh, what lens do you have?" I'm like, "Well, what do you have on? I'll just zoom to wherever you are, and then we'll be good." And that definitely helped a lot because there were 8 of us.
I do. And like one of the other things is like when I am second shooting for you, for example, Mike, when I am second shooting, I choose my lenses very particularly because I know what you are shooting on. So I also don't want to get in your way. Like I will use a lot of times the 135, or I actually just sold it because I never used it. The 70-200. Did love it. Beautiful images. Heavy as hell.
Yeah, that 135 is so good, especially on like the R5 or the R5 Mark II, where I'll like internal crop to 1.6. So then it's what, 212 or something.
Yeah.
212, 180. Yeah. That's my fave.
It's just like I said,
It's okay. Have the last one.
I think it. No, I just
always.
It's a good lens. Great.
Welcome to my world.
Okay, you wanted me to say it's a great lens. Okay.
No.
You don't have to. If you don't feel that way, you don't have to. Definitely
I
not.
do think it's just
You're
slightly.
wrong, but it's okay.
I just think it's also slightly overrated. I personally think. Like, could you shoot a wedding on all that? Yes, absolutely. But I also know photographers that shoot a whole wedding on a 35. Like Summer Grace, for instance, like I think started her whole career just shooting 35. So like I think gear is, obviously an essential item in a photographer's kit and everything like that. I think if you're probably starting out final word here. If you're starting out and you need like a money lens, that's the money lens to buy. Okay? All right, before anything else, here it is. Okay?
But once you get artsy and start serving yourself instead of your client, then you just go buy all those brands.
Moving on.
Ouch.
Moving on. I knew she was
Mike's
going to
gonna go home,
How
cry.
am I going to compete with an explorer of light? I'm just saying, people.
You can't.
Okay? I know she was going to eviscerate me. Okay? Love you too.
He's
God
never
damn it.
washing his arm again.
All right. I don't even know what to fucking talk about now. Here we go. All right. Well, let's talk YouTube. Okay.
Oh God.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go to that.
You're iconic on YouTube for the fact of like there are a few photo educators out there that kind of made it on YouTube. You have like 200,000 subscribers.
200, yeah.
Yeah, 200. That's just even having I think 15 is an accomplishment, and you have 200,000 subscribers. I think like there are very few more than you that are wedding photographer educators. Taylor Jackson, I think, is the only one I could think of who's up there.
And John Branch.
And John Branch. Like, so like when people go to YouTube and they type in, wedding photography tips trick, there's always a Vanessa Joy video that pops up.
Yay.
Now,
That's you.
What inspired you though to start creating video content for YouTube, and like how did you find your voice there?
It was Miguel Quiles, actually. Are you familiar with him? So
I've heard the name, but I'm not
portrait
really.
photographer, YouTuber. We both used to make videos for Adorama.
Okay.
And I think I was making videos for them bi-weekly. That's every other week, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I was making videos for them for like 5-6 years, just all the time. And at one point, Miguel was like, you need to start doing this for yourself because you never know when that contract's going to drop because they'll lose budget. They'll move on and want something fresh. Like that's not your channel. That's not your audience. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do that. And then I had met Jared Polin a couple of times, but he was nice enough to let me come to his studio in Philadelphia. He showed me the back end of his YouTube and taught me so much. So between the two of them, I just started.
Okay.
And it was, I started like 2019.
Oh, really? I thought it was
2019. So it was before COVID, right? So I had like a little jump start on everyone else that started a YouTube channel. And then I think it was the end of 2021 that I lost my Adorama contract, which it's fine. Like I'm literally going to Adorama after this. So like the relationship was there, but things changed. Different budgets. I think, I'm not even sure if they have a wedding person on there anymore or they just don't produce as much, whatever it is, things change. And I was like, oh my gosh, I am so grateful for like these people in my life that I listen to. But I don't even know if I have found my voice yet, to be honest. So what works well on YouTube are gear videos. And I hate being the person that is practically reading a manual to you. Like I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate doing spec videos. I hate it, but I have to because that's what does well.
Yeah.
And especially if I get, 24 hours notice of something coming and I can make a video, it's always going to go through the roof. So I make them because I have to, but the ones I actually enjoy making are just like, and you'll see a lot more of them coming out where I've recorded behind the scenes at weddings, at shoots, at whatever, and you just see me work and I'll do voiceover.
That I think is like, we're finding a lot of people love that.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to see the work that somebody produces, but to see how they work, how they create it, what their personality is like, how they move, what particular gear they're using at the time of working.
How they interact with the clients.
Yeah, exactly.
And to see the raw images that come out of the camera, because that was something that irritated me about, it's mostly on the portrait photography side, which I get, that's a different genre, but like I would only see the final finished photo or like one or two of the actual photos. When I put a wedding thing up there, I show you every single photo. I mean, it's edited, like Lightroom edited, but it's not retouched. It's just, that's what comes out of the camera. Because I think especially for newer photographers, it is, especially now, it is so confusing to look at an image and be like, what from this image came from the camera and what came from the computer?
Yep.
It's so difficult.
I started doing that last year with like TikToks where it was showing short form of this, like obviously like a minute, 30 seconds of like a compressed wedding day and just like little interaction stuff like that. And a few of my videos did pretty well just showing the image pop up as I was taking it.
You were actually one of the first people that I saw, and it could just be just a regional thing. Maybe there were other people who were doing this, but when the Meta glasses came out, you were one of the first people that I saw actually posting the final edited image on top of what people were seeing.
Yeah. And people like
so good.
people
and it
like
seemed,
that. Yeah.
it almost seems like a no-brainer now. Like, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, because
But-
I was like you, Vanessa. It was the same thing. I was tired of seeing the final result, or like in this case, people had the Meta glasses, but they weren't posting the results, or they were waiting till the very end to post the results, and then you're like, I'd love to see what you're getting there. Like you're lighting this so cool. Like what are you getting right there? Kind of thing. And then like you had to wait till the end of the video or just fast forward. So I wanted to give people instant satisfaction in seeing that. So
And yours looks so good. I have to ask, how often do you post on TikTok?
So I did a spurt where I wanted to see how much business I could get from TikTok, and I'm doing one of her classes. So,
Yes.
but I did an experiment. So I did 30 days, post every single day for 30 days. So I grew my TikTok from 1,000 followers to almost 9,000 in 30 days.
Awesome.
And I had 20 inquiries from TikTok.
That's so cool.
Straight from there. So, and I weaned off, like just I wanted to see the experiment and everything like that. Now I'm back in the wedding season. So now I'm prepping my content for this year and everything like that. But that was all content I had kind of like saved away. But I see the benefits in TikTok. And with the new generation getting married, they're using it more. So what I'm trying to show on TikTok, a lot of photographers just want to show pretty photos and things like that. And, or like, a trending audio or things. I'm trying to show them my personality on TikTok. And that way, because people are like, oh, I love, I just love the way you were interacting with your couples and everything like that. And I swear I booked 2 couples from TikTok because of that. Like they were like,
I love that.
Like both at the Hartford City Hall place that like
Yes.
I did like a wedding there.
I got an inquiry from a Connecticut couple from you from that TikTok
That's
because
awesome.
you were booked.
Yeah.
I was also booked.
But isn't that
We were shooting on
great?
the same day together.
Yeah.
That's so fantastic because, like I was saying, clients don't know the difference. I'm not belittling them, but when they're looking at bazillions of images from photographers, they don't know the difference between what's good and great photography.
Yeah.
And AI out there, we always talk about, is AI going to take away our jobs? And the weddings, I think, are like one of the safest things. But how great is that we have a place to showcase the thing that makes us different and the thing that makes us unique. And then that's what they end up hiring us for. Like, that's awesome.
There's so many people that talk shit on TikTok, and I was one of those very people up
She
until
did on this show too.
up until probably July of last year when I decided to give it another chance. I actually deleted my whole TikTok because I was like, fuck this, people are mean. And then I downloaded it again and I was like, I'm going to give it another shot. And now I'm like obsessed with it, but in a healthy way. Like not in the way where it's like, I spend all of my effing time on TikTok watching nonsense. Now I'm like trying to actively build content that I know is going to be relatable for my audience.
Yep.
Whether that be for other photographers or also potential clients. I kind of want to mix it up and make it both.
That's so difficult to do.
It is very hard.
It is
it's
so
not
difficult.
easy.
But it's good because other people who are going to hire you also see that you have photographers that respect you. And I think that's a good thing.
Yep. That's
Or they see photographers that bash you.
I'm also,
yeah.
I'm all over the place. There's like videos of my dog, of my son. Like it's not, I'm not making it easy for myself. I'm working on it.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think with anything, like you have to have like a good balance, I guess, of content and stuff like that. Like I think many people, like I look at TikTok like Instagram stories almost. Okay, it's like a showcase.
Yeah,
into
you're
the-
right.
That was the best explanation you gave me.
You're
At
right.
WPP, I was like, oh yeah.
You know, like it's a showcase of like the little things throughout the day, and it could be so stupid and irrelevant and stuff like that. But like it ties to you, it ties to your personality, it ties to your business, and maybe even ties to like what you're trying to attract. Like I literally just posted, I made a little gear drawer for like my like a charging station kind of thing. So I made this like specific gear drawer and everything like that. And I showed that. I posted it to Instagram stories and I was like, this is a good TikTok. Posted it to TikTok. It was like 4,000, 5,000 views right now. So I'm
That's
like,
so great.
So I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. And like,
And then sometimes the other way, you'll have something that does really well on TikTok and you'll throw it on Instagram. It's like,
horrible. No, it just happened. Like I posted like a thing where I described golden hour and it did so good on TikTok and I posted it on Instagram and it was like 100 views. I was like, what is happening? So I took it down. I was like, so it's funny how that works, right?
I'm reading this book called Persuasion.
Okay.
And it actually talks about, it's a sales book, but it talks about exactly what is happening there. So what it is your viewer is conditioned in a certain way before they even get to your content based on a variety of factors. And when it's on TikTok, it's just the fact that they expect to see a certain type of content versus when they're on Instagram story or feed, like they're persuaded to be exposed to certain kind of content. And that's why one doesn't do well over the other.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't love the book entirely because it's too wordy for me. but the concept of like prepping people, priming them to see you is very real.
That's
Very real.
That's it. That's very interesting to me. That actually really is.
It's actually something wedding professionals need to do better.
Wow.
Is like before you get on a phone call, a Zoom call with someone, there are certain things you can do to like prime them basically to have that consultation with you that almost no one in the industry does.
Wow.
Myself included. I do it on the education side for my mastermind, but I haven't implemented it into my wedding stuff yet.
It's interesting like that. These are all like little things that can make or break you.
Oh, yeah, they really do. And sales overall, I think our industry is starved of sales education. It's so starved of sales
I've
education.
noticed
We
that,
have
yeah.
no idea what to do. Everybody gets on these Zoom calls. I don't care what wedding professional you are. Like, what do? You ask them like 3.5 questions about, how'd you fall in love? And then you, here's what I do on a wedding day. And then you have this monologue that lasts God knows how long. And you want to know what they remember of it, the beginning, the end, and anything that they said.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no wonder why we can't get like normal data on booking ratios because we were never taught how to sell. I don't know where was the Monty Zucker of sales?
It's very interesting. But like when I worked for Tiffin, I worked a lot with sales because marketing and sales worked hand in hand.
Oh, yeah.
And I learned a lot of my techniques on bringing in clients
tell us.
from sales. And it's pretty much, it's like you always have the client talk about themselves first.
Yes.
And that
Call
was
discovery.
like, exactly. Like
20 minutes.
Like, so I have the clients really tell me about themselves for 10 to 15 minutes. And I'm just asking them questions. Like, I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, not like how you met or anything like that, but like, I'll get into like, oh, like I have them tell like a cliff notes and then I'll key in on something. So
Yes.
it's like,
you dig deeper.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, you guys like to hike. Like, where do you like to hike? Oh, we do this, this, and that. Like, oh, like, okay. Like, I hike too.
And
blah,
then
blah,
you
blah.
association.
Exactly.
Yes.
So like you associate and then they're automatically like, oh, he's taking interest in me.
Gets me.
And it's like, it's just like a slow burn into like, you could start selling.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to hook them with basically association. And that's what I felt like always works. Like my booking rate, like when a client sits down at the, like in front of me on Zoom, my booking rate, success rate is 92%.
That's awesome.
So I have to work better of getting clients through the door. Like that's where I'm like, especially with this wedding gap and everything like that that's been going on. I want to get better at that because once I get them in, I know I could land them. It's just a matter of how I hook them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and the more they talk about themselves, the more you can tell them about what you do that relates to the things they actually care about, because of course you want to tell them what you do. But the problem is we start talking about all the things that we do and like 10% of it actually matters to them.
Yeah.
But the more you get them to talk, you know what matters to them. You know, if they're emotional or logical or practical, like if their family is more important to them than their friends. And then everything that you say, you can tie back to, remember when you said that?
Yep.
Well, here's what I do to make that even better. Or here's what I do to make sure that doesn't happen. And it's just...
It's a mastermind right here.
Mastermind right here.
It is. It's hard because, I mean, for newer people, I learned all of this stuff when I was doing sales in the office of the studio that I worked for. So like, yes. And it was even more difficult at the time because they weren't sitting with who was their photographer. It was a studio.
Salesperson.
So I had to convince them that the studio was a good fit for them without knowing who their photographer was going to be.
Did they make the images speak for themselves? I love that phrase.
I don't work there anymore.
I guess they did speak for themselves.
I did. This was lower budget clientele. So it wasn't like hard, it was, all right, well, you're a really good price. Nailed it.
Right.
Nailed it.
And the other plus side was there's 14 other photographers. If something happens to the other one, you've got to back up.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Super excited to announce a partnership with Blacksmith Print Co.
Look at this thick bitch.
Oh, God. Yo, she's spicy. I love her. Yeah. So Blacksmith brings quality, simplicity, and a boutique customer service to photographers looking to upgrade their album experience. These things are fucking good.
Beautiful.
I mean, we picked them up. Like, we got Brady, the owner, sent us these sample albums with our photos in them. One, they look gorgeous. Color was
fantastic.
Spot fucking on. Beautiful, beautiful albums. Super thick, super heavy.
He also walked us through the design process and onboarding personally.
Yeah.
And he does that for every single client that he books.
Yeah. And I love that personalized experience. So the albums included, like what he offers, 8x8, 10x10, 12x12 sizes available. So included with an album purchase is premium packaging, free shipping, any cover material. They have leather, linen, embossed names, raised letters, cameo window option, and embossing foil. So you could see your names and everything like that.
90% of orders ship within 7 business days, and ordering is super easy right through the website. Blacksmith only takes 30 to 50 new photographers a year who are looking to order 15 albums a year or more. A special offer for Vendor Table listeners who qualify will get $500 of album credits towards your first sample when you mention the Vendor Table in the How Did You Hear About Us section when applying on Blacksmith's website.
So check them out for yourself at blacksmithprintco.com.
If you're a wedding pro looking to scale your business, you have got to check out the Abundance Group Mastermind.
Yeah, this isn't just like any other program. It's an experience like nothing else in the wedding world. So I worked with Ashley. She's amazing. And let me tell you, she's one of the really the most generous, genuine people I've ever met. She's built $1 million a year wedding planning company and shares her knowledge and time in a way that's truly unmatched.
In the Mastermind, you get unlimited daily voice coaching with Ashley. Yes, really. access to every course she's ever created, and 2 incredible live in-person events each year. Plus, the group itself is filled with wedding vendors who are scaling, many who are over the $100,000 mark, some even hitting $500,000 plus.
Jeez.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good. This isn't just about learning. It's about being part of a community that gets it and pushes you to grow, really. So if you're serious about scaling your business, all right, you want to take it to the next level, you got to check this out.
What's great for TVT listeners is that we have a special link that allows you to skip the wait list. So check out the link in the show notes for more info.
We just want to give a special shout out to Maru, one of our sponsors. Maru is a modern payment experience for the weddings and events industry.
Maru has added some incredible new features, including the ability to send contracts, create itemized invoices, and our personal favorite, the ability to pay contractors.
Love this.
Yeah, like that makes me so happy to have a platform that if I need to pay like an associate or a second shooter, I'm paying them right through Maru. It just goes right to their bank account, makes things so nice and easy.
It's also so neat and organized.
Yes.
You can find anything.
Super organized. Like, I love it because I'm just like, hey, I got to print it out at the end of the year, send my accountant over for tax purposes and all that stuff.
Perfect.
It keeps things so nice and neat.
Maru is a community of 10,000 plus wedding and event professionals, and it's growing. They offer seamless transactions and a hassle-free payment experience. They make it easy for you to focus on what you do best, creating memorable experiences.
So we went over, but with Maru, you could create and share your contract, accept and make payments without processing fees, offer clients a simpler experience, no need to sign up, just pay and go, and pay your contractors, something we both love. So it also keeps all your payments neatly organized in the central hub. You could sign up for free at maru.us/TBT. All right, so we talked a little bit about like your YouTube, creating content, like all that stuff. How do you balance like creating content for education versus content that grows an audience?
I hate it. Like I said, I hate the gear videos, but I have to do them. I also have to do sponsored videos because this is not a charity I'm running. I started another charity. The YouTube is not a charity. So I have to make sponsors happy. So then I have to do videos for them. And thankfully I don't take videos where I'm like, wow, I really hate this, but I have to do it anyway. But I can't say I intentionally balance it. I don't think in my head like, okay, the month of June we'll have one gear video, one behind the scenes, and one spot. Like I just don't.
Yeah.
And you can't because all the new gear comes out in May and September.
Yeah.
So you have to just like, that's when the gear stuff comes.
Okay.
But I am also psychotic and I will film like 10 to 12 videos in a day. I'll do batch filming on things. I have videos that are coming out right now I filmed 3 years ago. And it's kind of like the evergreen stuff that's I can just plug in, I don't know, Squarespace.
Okay.
Is a sponsor of mine, so I can just plug that in. And it's helpful for me because I am a real photographer here. I have times like Maytember is what I call it. It's awful. It's as busy as December, but without the twinkly lights. And thank God I had all this stuff to grab from because I didn't get to shoot anything in May. I bought an Osmo, DJI Osmo.
Yeah.
So I can start recording my talking heads as I'm walking through airports because that's how little time I have.
Yeah.
We talked about this like at WPPI that you travel for work like 150 days out of a 365-day year.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. And
How
it's
do you
always
do
like,
that? Oh my God.
I have a support team. My husband is awesome. He takes care of the kids. He knows the doctor appointments. He knows like all the things. I have 2 virtual assistants. I have a dedicated editor. I have 2 dedicated video editors. Who else do I have? I have more people. But those are my main. I do have an agent. Yes. So I have a support system. And then I have, I pay someone to clean the house. I pay someone to help with the kids. And so many other things. I wouldn't be able to do anything. I mean, this year is crazy. I thought it'd be less, but I can't say no to these cool things. I got to go shoot the Royals and like MLB dirt in my shoes. Like that's so cool, especially since photography used to want to be a sports photographer. I got hired by a couple who found me on YouTube to go to France next month, to go to Mont Saint Michel.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? So we're doing that.
What a dream.
I bring photographers on photo trips every year. We're going to Bali this year.
Wow.
It's just like, how do you say no? And you say no to all this stuff. Well, my husband yelled at me recently. He's like, can we go on a vacation where it's not work? And I'm like, but then it's not tax deductible.
Yeah. I mean, bring your camera, take a couple photos. Just a write-off. So this is a great bridge into this question because you've managed to stay relevant while so many others have burned out or disappeared. Like you obviously, attribute a lot of that to like the team you have behind you. But how, like, keeping up with that it's hard.
It's really hard.
So how do you not get burnt out from this?
Oh, I do. Oh, please don't think I'm not like burnt out almost at all times at this point.
Thank you for your honesty and transparency.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the getting on a plane actually to come here and then getting on a plane a couple of weeks ago was probably the hardest like walk out the door moments I've had. My daughter's 10 and she's in those preteen emotional years and she has a hard time when I leave now. It was easier when they were younger. And now it's not even just mommy guilt. It's like, wow, am I actually choosing myself and my career over my family? And am I okay with that? So it's not easy and I get burnt out. I get burnt out on the clients and I had a partial knee replacement a couple months ago and I am still running around like a lunatic. But the reason I do it, it comes from so many different things and it changes. So like, I remember getting burnt out around 2011, 2012. And I decided to learn flash photography because that was something that was new. I got burnt out when the fact that TikTok was a thing and my personality is, I'm going to lean into it then. You know what? If I freaking hate it, then I'm just going to freaking do it and stop whining about it. So it just changes. It depends on what it is. At one point I got so burnt out on weddings, I couldn't look at the photos I was producing anymore that I decided to shift my focus and let me become more emotionally involved in who they are. And then that pushed me. And actually that's the thing that still pushes me now is I choose to give a shit about who they are. And I'll pray for their marriage before a wedding versus pray that their photos come out good. So you got to find, it's never all the same because our why changes, right? Like my why when I started my business was totally different from my why now when I've got a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old sitting here, right? So it's
Absolutely.
You have to be okay with that fluctuating. For a long time, I was not okay with that fluctuating. I had a very hard time when I first got pregnant, had to go on meds because I just could not fathom that change of no one's going to take me seriously as a business owner when I'm freaking fat and pregnant. So it changes and you have to either choose to keep up with it or choose something else. And if you choose something else, that's also okay.
That's very, because we're both going through changes in our businesses and our personal lives and things like that. It's hard. Like this past month, I've gotten so burnt out. I'm moving offices. So and it's not even I'm moving across town. It's I'm moving from my upstairs to my garage in the back, kind of thing. So I'm
stressful.
I'm between two places. I'm when can I get in there? When can I do and it stresses me now. It's wedding season. So now I'm on wedding 5 and I've shot 5 weddings this month. And I'm
and I know everyone thinks this looks fun, but this is a business. This is a full-time business.
This is a full-time business.
Yeah. This we have sponsors that need
Expect
things done.
things.
So it's, and I know people are oh, they're just whining about this stuff. It's
Nope.
When it's a job, it's a job. And it can add to stress and burnout and things like that.
Time away from family.
Exactly.
And no one on their deathbed, which wishes they just had that one more sponsor, right?
Yeah. So it's tough. So it's it's refreshing to hear somebody that, you look like you have it all together, we see the Instagrams and TikToks.
I take photos for a living.
That's, that's, it's
What do
refreshing.
you mean? All you do is push a button.
Yeah.
But it's refreshing to see that, to hear that, because I think a lot of other creators are in the same space as you, where it's it's okay to take time to figure shit out and shift your attention in different
You're
areas.
really good at that, at showing reality, which I love about your TikTok. It's oh yeah, she's crazy like me.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing is I one of the things that drove me to that point of just putting it out there like that is because I feel right now, especially when in this economy, in the industry right now, we're going through a very intense shift in the way that people are booking. It's either they're not booking or they're waiting till much closer to their wedding date to book. It's causing a lot of vendors a lot of stress.
It is.
But you have a lot of people who are presenting this idea or image of success and keeping it together when in all actuality, it's just a marketing tactic, right?
Oh, I'm so booked up.
I'm so booked out, but I only take 5 weddings a year. You know what I mean? Like everybody's idea of booked, busy, successful is so different. And I got sick of seeing that shit and no one sharing their personal struggles. And I'm not saying like go out there and be like, I'm getting a divorce and my life is in flames. Like you don't have to do that, but like be honest in a way that makes sense. So like, yeah, I talk about my pitfalls and my chaos like pretty often because it's relatable and I want other people.
Oh, actually, no, I take it back. It's not acceptable. You commented on a TikTok I ended up deleting.
Oh yeah, I did see that. And I was actually really upset that you took it down.
Yeah.
I understand why,
Yeah.
but I don't know if you want to talk about it.
I don't mind talking about it. I took it down because, well, the troll, and I hate that he got his own way because it's always a guy.
It's always a man.
Always a guy. It told me I was so unprofessional. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was unprofessional for talking about the fact that I was sexually harassed.
So basically what it was is, you know, that audio, that was rude.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking rude.
Yeah.
Vanessa was talking about an instance where a man, several instances, which I feel like any female professional
You go through them.
goes through them, where a man, several men, said something wildly fucking inappropriate and out of pocket. And I don't know if you want to say it.
Oh, I'm only in the place that I am getting. It was when I was being courted to be an explorer of light that I'm only there because I'm a piece of pussy.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
It is fucking crazy.
Multiple men said that to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And some man, of course, went to her comment section and was just like, this is so unprofessional. I usually like your videos, but.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off.
And
bro.
I felt, when I saw that you took it down, I was like,
I know. It's hard because it's like
burn the patriarchy to the ground.
I know. It's so difficult. Like serving two audiences, like we were saying, is like I put things on there. Like I want photographers to see all the raw truth and all the real. But at the same time, I don't need my clients to see that. And they're there also. So there are certain times where I've wanted to write, like actually coming home from this past 5-day wedding, I wanted to write like, oh my God, everything hurts. I'm so burnt out. I need to go crawl into like a deprivation tank. But I know that the people from that wedding are following me fresh, which means my stories are coming up. So I changed it to, you know, the more positive vibe.
Yeah.
Because it matters.
That's, I think,
And then there's people like me who are like, nah, fuck that. I don't give a shit.
I mean, there are people that like showcase like the. Yeah.
But you're a canon explorer of light and I'm not. So I don't know what that says about me, you know?
They're like, I fucking hate when I see men, like male photographers especially.
I
because,
fucking hate men.
I know you do. Okay, I just like let's be real here. But no, but I do hate when I see men comment on successful women's posts negatively because at the end of the day, it's envy. Like let's just be real. Okay, they're not as good, they're not as successful, and they're fearing a woman and. Let's just be real. Most of them are old fucking boomers. Okay. Like,
well, let's talk about how now a previously predominantly male industry is now female dominated.
Yeah.
I
I went
heard
through that change.
That makes people really uncomfortable.
I heard you say that on Summer's podcast, but like, you know, you started in this industry when it was male dominated.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's shifted. I'd say, I think 70% of wedding photographers are female, like give or take, but, it is now a female-dominated industry, and a lot of the old-school men are not taking that very well.
They are not taking
oh,
that well.
no.
Yeah.
Are the men sad?
I'm not. I don't fucking give a shit.
You know,
like,
but the truth is...
Yeah, but you're not like those guys.
The truth is it was their choice in a lot of way to not stay relevant. And I'm not saying it was all easy, and yes, some things were out of their control, but usually the men that I see, men and women, that are commenting in their negative, I look at their work and it's like you haven't even elevated, adapted, evolved your style in 26 years.
Yep.
That's a choice.
Yep.
that's a choice.
It's a choice that you didn't choose to learn, and you're going to go to the way of the dinosaur. Let's just be real. Like, they are going to go extinct.
We've had that conversation so many times now, and there's still so many people that dig their heels in the sand that refuse to acknowledge that it is fact that if you do not adapt in this industry, you will get left behind.
Yeah.
Or any industry.
Any industry.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
He's really excited for his next question. He's like, no, we're going. We're going. We have a list.
No, because it's perfect. This is a perfect segue
Let's
into
go.
the next question. But like, trends change.
Yeah.
Right? Like with platforms and trends constantly changing, what's your strategy for choosing where to show up and where to invest that energy into?
It's always, where are my clients right now?
Okay.
So my clients are still on Instagram, but a lot of them are also or on TikTok. So I'm going to start shifting more towards TikTok and playing more into that algorithm. But trends, I like to show maybe 10% of trends, and the rest of it is more like my core style, which works for me because it's timeless as far as like what I think, like true to color type look. But I think you have to show the trends. You have to show that. The only issue that I think people run into is when they make their whole presence about a particular trend. And not that it's wrong, for the record, because I'm a firm believer in it's your business, it's your art. As long as you set the expectation and then deliver the expectation, that is acceptable. But what ends up happening if you go really hard into certain trends is eventually that trend changes. And that trend now is cringe. So it becomes really difficult to shift gears when you've just let your entire work become this trend.
We saw that with blurry photos, motion blur, like, because like over the last few years, motion blur was very popular.
Yep.
And we were seeing, galleries, people were sending us galleries where 70% of their images were blurry.
Yeah.
It looked like a toddler took them, right?
Or even like an Instagram feed, like their whole feed, every single photo is blurry. And you're like, this doesn't show anyone much, like we're not really seeing what you're actually capable of.
Yeah.
And so it's very interesting to say, like, that look is starting to get dated and that trend is starting to fade, where intentional
Thank you, Jesus.
intentional blur is like, more popular, or like direct flash only done intentionally.
Yes.
Like, what's the point of doing, you don't want to do direct flash all the time. Dance floor first dance with dad, you're not doing direct flash. Like, you want to properly light that. You can, but like, do you want that?
Well, does your client want that? I've started, and I used to hate when my couples would send me like Pinterest galleries. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, let me do my job. Like, stop telling me what to do or plagiarize this person's work. But now I actually encourage it. It's even a selling point. I tell them, like, we're doing a mood board because you're going to say all these words that, in your head mean one thing, but then when I hear them, it means something else. And then we're not speaking the same language. Yep. So we need to speak the same language because, quite frankly, you want your whole day to be that like film blurry vibe. Great. I don't care. Like, I can make that for you.
Yep.
Not that I don't care, but like, I can make that for you. So the only hindrance I have in providing them what they want is the communication.
Yep.
So if we can communicate visually, speak the same language, I got you. I'll even edit it differently. I have an editor that can do anything. So you want that sepia bread look? I got you. But you're signing an addendum to the contract.
There it is.
For that.
Oh my God. Like, I love seeing the photographers that advertise themselves, or even the brides that like, I want a documentary editorial photographer.
Don't know what that means.
Yes, but they don't know what that means.
And I'm like,
it's not their fault.
Exactly. So we put out, like, the point of this podcast, like we do talk shit and smut and all the fun stuff, but we also try to like educate people on like the terms used and like,
There are photographers who don't even know how they shoot.
Yeah. Like, they're like, I'm a photojournalist. And I'm like,
what that means.
I'm like,
but you pose.
But I was like, you're posing your
people.
clients. I was just like, you're not a photojournalist. Like that's documentary photography is fly on the wall. Like, you're not interjecting yourself into the day. Like, so and a lot of photographers advertise themselves as,
because that's what, people are putting into ChatGPT. Have you heard this yet?
Yeah.
Have you heard this?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We did a whole episode on the ChatGPT where it like with a SEO expert, and she came in and she talked about like the nuances of ChatGPT and stuff like that.
It's
and
crazy.
It was crazy times.
It's so fun. I mean, just last night I was prepping for what I'm teaching at Adorama later, and I'm like, oh, let's just for fun copy and paste like the answer. Like, I searched for a type of photographer, and then I was like, okay, so now how do I get found when someone searches that, and it's just like it gives you a dissertation. It's so great.
It like honestly, like being completely honest, I got a lot of these questions from ChatGPT. Like,
I love it.
Like
That's great.
Like I had to analyze your profile and stuff like that.
When we sat down with Sarah Dunn and talked SEO with her, I was like, I don't know why I never thought to ask ChatGPT those questions.
Yeah.
Like I can give it my webpage and be like, how can I improve this? And it'll be like, "Brr, brr, 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 brr." And you're like,
Oh,
the robot just told me what to do.
Right?
Like,
yeah. And now, can you robot hire another robot to make it happen?
Yeah.
hey robot, can you tell people that I'm the #1 ranked?
Right.
Yeah. How do I get in your favor? Because apparently it's not please and thank you. That just hurts the universe.
Right. Well, it's crazy to see like the shift and everything like that. But like one of the things that I am blown away with, okay, because when I worked at Tiffin, like when we serviced a lot of Canon Explorers of Light, okay, like that
There
was
you
like
go, servicing people again.
Okay, did a service, okay.
Provided services for.
Okay, we did like okay, we provided a lot of service.
I bet you did.
towards- We did. We wanted them to use the gear for nothing, by the way. That's for another point. But being Canon Explorer of Light is an absolute honor. Okay, like even more as a female, I feel like. Can you share what that journey looked like and what it means to you?
It was probably 25 years ago now. I went to Photo Plus in New York City. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember
that
Photo Plus.
convention?
Yep.
And I'm standing on the expo floor with the guy that I worked for, and we're somewhere near the Canon booth, and Dennis Reggie was on there, and Joe Busink, and somebody said like, "Oh, they're Canon Explorers of Light," and I'm like, "What? What's that?" I want someone to say that as I walk by.
I want to know.
Exactly what I
want to
did at
be that.
WPPI when I saw
Yeah.
Vanessa. I was like, she was a Canon Explorer of Light. Oh my god.
Goal achieved. Yeah,
Lauren did not know what those were, by the way.
I was like, what is that?
yeah. Yeah.
Been shooting for 10 years, like, and yeah.
You know what is it
like
though?
the highest honor. Sorry.
It's the highest honor. It's also a marketing program.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's what it is. It's run by the marketing department. For
Mike's
good-
like pointing
good reason.
people out at WPPI, and I was like, I'm new to the internet. I don't know.
But that's a huge ass honor, and like you're one of 5 U.S. wedding photographers. I mean, like
That's
geez.
really impressive.
like it's super cool, and like you like
It's very exclusive.
It's very exclusive. Like it's not like they give it to everybody.
And there's no list of requirements either. It's constantly a moving target. And I strategically built relationships for a good 5 years to make that possible. I can't say to make it happen, but to make it possible, to make sure I was in front of them. And I did a lot of work for them, which, super happy that they asked me to do any work for them, but to show them that I checked off a lot of the boxes, right? I had an audience. I could speak to photographers. I knew how to talk about gear and in a way where it's not like salesy, right? Because nobody wants that. I knew marketing in general. So I understood the program and what it was for. And I was able to like be shipped out in a lot of different ways to, they need someone to go speak here or there. And I was very flexible in being able to do that and do it in a way that made the dealers happy that I was going to, like the Canon reps. Like you have a lot of clients when it comes to being an explorer of light. Oh, and then also being able to do video production. I created, and this was before or right after I was a Canon Explorer of Light, the R6 and the R5 came out, which is, yes, the Canon R came out previously, but that was like really their first full frame mirrorless camera, like the powerhouses.
Yeah.
I had to create that R6 video like the first week of lockdown and COVID.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Creating that was probably the hardest, most difficult thing I've ever done because I had to get a model that was okay to not have a mask on. We had to always shoot, with long lenses, definitely. So none of us were close. I had to get crew that traveled in for it. Wow. I had to fake a DJ scene in my garage that looked like a crowded nightclub by having just like 5 people there everyone holding mannequin heads.
That's awesome.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So if you go look at that official like R6, just YouTube, Vanessa Joy R6 official trailer promo, whatever.
Oh my God.
And you see the DJ scene, those are mostly mannequin heads.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I got to watch that later. That's crazy.
Hysterical.
But that's like, it's so cool because like, when I think of like Explorers of Light, like I got into like, I've always shot Canon. So like, and Lauren shoots Canon as well. So like we, I started on the Rebel, like the XTI, like
Rebel XT over here.
right? And we talked about that on an episode. The my first full frame was the Mark II, and Vincent LaForet's video, the Mark II video, sold me.
I heard he follows you.
He does. It's very exciting. Fangirl, big time when that happened. But it was just, we talked about this before. Oh, fair. But I remember watching that video and being like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you know how that video came to be?
No.
Okay. This is a good story. So for some reason, Vincent LaForet was like with either at Canon headquarters in New York or just somewhere around where people were showing off the camera before it came out. And that camera was never supposed to be a video camera. The only reason there was video in there was so that like war photographers and photojournalists could take some quick video clips just in case they needed to, and all in one camera. But he gets there and he's like, wait, it has video? No, give it to me. Give it to me. And they like kind of reluctantly was like, okay, I guess we'll give it to you. And he pops that freaking thing out. That promo,
That
like
video was
out
so
of
good.
nowhere, and it's so good. I have to go watch it again.
Right. It was so good. Oh my God. And I remember when they added the firmware update for the 24p, and you were like, oh my God. Like it became like, cause I was in film school at the time. So I went to school to be a filmmaker. And that was like, if you got your hands on a Mark II with the 24p upgrade, like the firmware update, you were like, like I'd be a filmmaker. I remember I had a nifty 50 and I was just like shooting everything on the 50. It looked so good. And it like, cause back then you were using like HVX 200s and stuff like that.
Camcorders.
You're using camcorders. So like, it was really cool to see that. Yeah, I fangirled big time when he followed us, by the way. Big time. Lauren was like, who is that?
Don't tell him I said that.
Well,
God.
You know, I'm
Be cool, baby. Be cool.
like I said, I've been in the industry a long time. I know.
Sorry,
who
I don't know
people are.
anyone.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone.
No,
I
you know a lot of, you know
Who's coming in here next.
Yes. You know she knows a lot of artists that I don't know, like from like the, oh my God, Divine Art days and like the, remember that?
Yeah.
Remember Divine Art? Remember that?
Long time.
DeviantArt?
DeviantArt.
DeviantArt.
Is DeviantArt, yeah.
DeviantArt, Flickr, like,
Oh yeah.
I know weird people. Like, I photographed Alicia Nett.
Yeah. Yeah, which is like the iconic model.
And
like,
Mike like lost his shit. He was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. What's her bio? It was just like your Tumblr crush or something. Yeah. It was like legitimately. But that's like this is like such a good conversation, and we're having like an extended conversation with Vanessa because when are we gonna have Vanessa Joy like on the show?
I know. I'm gonna actually be really sad when you leave. This has been so fun.
But all right, so we're known as a show here for hot takes.
Yeah.
Okay. Like we love a good hot take around here. But Vanessa Joy, give us your wedding photography hot take. Something you hate that others love.
Or something that you love that others hate.
Oh, I can't even think of everything. And it's probably because I hate everything. Because my first impression, and again, I'm New Jersey, I'm just a pessimist. So like I saw the direct flash trend. I'm like, ew. And 3 weeks later, I'm like, I guess I'll do this. And the next thing is like, oh, blurry photo. Ew. Oh, fine, I'll do it. And like everything that comes at me, it's always ew. and then I just do it anyway.
What if like selective color comes back? We can be like, ew.
I mean, if I get to hand color things myself, because I'm that old, I did. Got my black and white photo, got my chalks, and I'm like,
yeah, all right.
If it comes back, it's really ill. It won't go on my website. It might go on my Instagram. Yeah. No, that's
As a
ill.
joke.
As a joke for the photographers, but
Yeah, that's your next
Right.
April Fool's Day joke.
I think you should like bring that back. That's a good TikTok.
Oh, you know what's ill? And I can only say this because I've done it. That picture where you're holding your camera vertically and your other eye is looking at the camera.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's ill. But we've all done it. That's the other problem. I can't have a hot take because anything I think is just like, ugh, I've done.
Yeah.
You know what? Can I just like, speaking of that, can I PSA to like photographers for your next headshots? You don't need your camera.
You don't have to hold your camera. I mean,
You don't have to hold your camera.
It's our safety blanket.
You know what's funny is our thumbnail is us holding our cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't have to do that.
You don't have to.
I'd rather hold a bottle of champagne, to be honest with you, next time.
It is funny. Like every photographer holds their camera in their bio photos.
We don't have to do that.
I have mine in my bio photo. Shit.
Same.
I don't.
You don't?
Nope.
No, you don't. Oh shit! But it's a safety net, right? Like,
It's a
it-
photo
yeah.
you took of me though.
Yeah. It's like, what do I do with my hands? Well, I don't have to think about it if I'm just holding my camera.
Sit on them
right?
like a bad toddler.
I think every photographer needs to update their Instagram bio photos to not hold a camera.
You can just don't be weird with it. Like you don't have to hold it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hold it like down.
Just-
I don't know. I like.
It needs to be around because your clients, they don't read, but they'll look at your photo and be like, oh, yeah, it's a photographer.
Yeah,
I will say that.
I think that's why we do it, right?
It could
Like,
be
that's probably why we
around.
do it. That's why we
Just
do
don't make it weird.
it. All right. Just don't make it weird.
Don't make it weird.
Don't make it weird.
You know what I hate? Ooh, I know.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. And this shows how old I am. I cannot stand when I see people charging a 3% fee for credit cards when it's wedding vendors, particularly. Stop being inconvenient and nickel and diming your clients. Raise all your prices by 3% and stop talking about it.
Credit card fees are a tax write-off also.
Yeah, true. But still.
So like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't charge your clients that. I don't.
Well, especially if and I understand it more on like I don't want to say lower level, but like, average to budget pricing. But if you are a luxury wedding photographer and you are inconvenient and difficult and nickel and diming people when they pay you, like
Tacky.
tacky.
That's a take. I love it.
That's a take.
That's a take. I love a good take. Okay. All right. Last question before we get into this or that. Okay. What's one lesson you wish you learned sooner in your career?
Oh, how to dress. I still don't know how to dress myself for the most part. Like it was a good 2.5 hours that I chose this one white shirt that I've had for 10 years. But I have a story about this.
Okay.
When I was second shooting once for someone I had never second shot for before, I think I had met him in like a workshop or something like that. We were photographing a wedding at the Ritz-Carlton. And this was at least 15 years ago. And I was in typical photographer uniform, black pants, God knows what shoes, some kind of blouse on top. Maybe there was a jacket. And there were wedding planners there. I think I did a good job at whatever photos I took. But we were sitting down in the vendor room for dinner. I was sitting down. The other guy was, out taking photos. And the wedding plan, so it was like me by myself at a table. It just felt just like high school. And then over here was the wedding planners. And they're all talking. And I tried to interject in a conversation, but they wanted nothing to do with it. And then they start talking about underwear. And they start talking about I just don't understand. Wear a thong. Why does anyone need to show panty lines anymore? They were talking about me in front of my face. Because I apparently was letting some panty lines show. And now I only wear thongs.
Heaven fucking forbid a girl has a panty line.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. But
Wow.
I can't relate to this.
in their defense,
That's such mean girl energy.
Such mean girl energy. And not in their defense, but the truth was I wasn't dressed as well as I should have been. And I did not realize until much later that every single person at that wedding, every vendor, every guest, they can't judge me by my photos because they don't see them. They can judge me by how I act and what I'm wearing. And that's it. So I wish I knew sooner that fabulous reality would have led to a lot better shopping experiences a long time ago.
Yeah, that's
Now I'm like, here's my Valentino. I did rent the runway all last weekend for this billionaire's wedding.
That's I feel like we've talked about photographers and how they dress at weddings a few times in the last few weeks, because it also helps you attract your certain level of clientele. It helps people remember you and stuff like that.
And it doesn't have to be all black. It doesn't have to be Valentino. It just has to resonate with your authentic self and the brand and the person you want to attract.
Yep, it's you what was the old
Well, you could be
corporate
like
thing?
the Josh Huggett of the world
Yeah.
who has his own branding, a t-shirt and shorts and Vans.
Josh Lynn is one in New Jersey that's like that. And he'll change for the reception, but the rest of the day,
And then you
t-shirt,
have the Lauren
shorts.
Ashleys who are dressed to the nines every single time.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah,
I just love her.
It's funny because it's the old corporate mentality was you dress for the job you want,
Yeah.
not the job you have.
That's right.
And I feel like as wedding vendors, you dress for the clients you want to attract, and how they remember you. So I just think it's it's true. It does resonate. Like, and I've talked about this. You know, I do wear a blazer. I do wear a tie, like especially the church ceremonies and stuff like that. And like, I get a lot of compliments as a male photographer. I walk in, and the first people that compliment me are usually the parents. They're like, "Oh, you dress so nice for a photographer," and stuff like that. And I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
Like,
Because think about it, like, and they can't talk about your photos, but you show up not dressed well, they're going to talk about that.
yeah.
yeah."
Oh,
So there.
I'll be honest with you though, 2025 is the year of sneakers for me. I'm sorry. My feet can't handle this shit anymore. I cannot wear loafers. I cannot wear nice shoes. I have to wear sneakers with support or my feet will fall off.
The support is the problem. I don't understand why like Gucci can't just make a flat with some arch support.
Somebody
in it. I don't know.
please, I beg of you.
I used to buy them like the inserts, but then the shoe doesn't fit so great.
Then you have to take out the sole. You have to rip the sole out, put orthotics in, and there's no guarantee it's going to fit in there.
Yeah.
They need like insights, like these shoe companies need like insights from wedding photographers,
They
pros.
really
that,
do.
You know, like I always think
Or like service wait staff, you know, like people who are on their feet for
On their
hours
feet.
and hours and hours walking all day.
Yeah,
Doctors or
but don't
something,
want to
yeah.
look like, ugh.
Yeah. The like there's a suit jacket that I saw, like I get their ads all the time because I clicked on it one time and now it's like repeat, you know, like one of those. There's a suit jacket that has like breathable mesh like back.
Oh.
And I was like, I am going to buy one of those.
Yeah.
Because I wear like linen jackets. They're light, but you still get hot in them. But I was like, this is like a fabric. It looks really nice and everything.
Send it my way.
Right?
I'm trying to be very intentional with what I purchase for clothing from
Yeah,
now
because
on.
it's not tax deductible unless you put your logo on it.
Yeah,
Right.
I know. Isn't that annoying? My
People need
accountant
to
told me
understand that,
Very-
too. That's a very common mistake.
Huge misconception.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that until a couple of years ago, being honest with you, because I would just buy like shit from J. Crew. And
Yeah.
my accountant's like, you can't write that off. I was like, why? It's like for
Why
business.
not?
It's a blazer. It's for business. No, it has to have your logo on it. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Sucks.
Which you can definitely put your logo on things pretty easily.
Yeah. I'm like, maybe I'll just
Or
get
even
a
just your
monogram.
like favicon.
You know what I thought about doing? Maybe this is something you could do. Put it on the inside. of The
Exactly.
jacket. Like, and you say, yeah, I put my logo on the inside. Put a patch on it. There you go.
Iron on.
Right?
Iron on.
Right? Yeah, like an iron thing. Like, I don't know. Maybe that will work.
I'm going to be doing a lot of thrifting
Also,
this year,
no
I
one's
think.
checking pretty much.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. All right, so we're at the point of the conversation where we like to do this or that rapid fire questions. Okay, so we might have you elaborate on some of these, but like usually just like off the top of your head kind of thing. So Lauren, why don't you kick it off?
Sure. Big wedding or small elopement?
Oh, big wedding. Small elopements, there's too much attention on me. They can tell when I'm faking taking pictures. You all get to that point in the night where you're like, I'm not taking
Yeah, like during the reception, I just press the test button.
Yeah.
The
So-
honesty from Vanessa Joy, everybody. That's right. Like I always like, I'm always like in the corner, just like checking my camera, like looking at my camera, and I'm like,
If I see Mike in the corner,
I press play and I'm like going through editing.
yeah, it's a good way to do it. Oh, I'm gonna do that next wedding, like shooting. Sorry, people. Okay, love that. All right, band or DJ?
Oh, probably DJ, just because band, man, it's a mixed bag.
Yeah,
And you get
hit
a
or miss.
bad vocalist in there.
so far only one guest has ever said the band.
Band, yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah. All right, Lauren, you get the next one.
Dream destination you would love to work at? Sounds like you're going to be working at
I
two
was
of
going to
them.
say, I am just checking all of that off. I did Lake Como last year, and that was my dream destination. I'd like to do it again, though. My own wedding. I was only second shooting it. Yeah. I want to live in Italy for like 3 months and just photograph weddings.
Sounds like a great idea.
Amalfi Coast, like kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. That's up there for me. I did Ireland last year. Now it's Amalfi Coast. It's like that and Iceland bucket list.
I'm
yeah.
dying for Iceland. That's all I want.
Yeah. Have you done Iceland? Have you done?
I've been to Iceland. I think my 2026 photo trip will be in Iceland. So
Nice.
you guys should come.
Oh, I'd love to.
Say less.
The Iceland photo trip. Kidding me? Okay. All right. Oh, this is a good one. Create long form content or short form content.
I prefer to create long form and consume short form.
Okay, that's a yeah.
That's a great answer.
I agree. I lose focus real quick.
Yep.
Okay.
My
All
squirrel brain. All right. Would you rather shoot a wedding with one camera and a heavy lens? And wait, hold on.
I was going to say,
Rewind.
because we know the answer to this
I
question.
know. Shoot a wedding with one camera with a heavy lens and no camera strap or harness, or shoot a wedding with two light camera lenses with a strap and harness.
Yes, no, you have to have the strap and or a harness. There's no.
You did this to me on purpose, didn't you?
I did 100%. She forgot her harness.
I forgot my harness
No,
on the last wedding that I shot. 10 hours
horrible.
with no fucking harness. And it's the first time in my career I've ever done that. And it
Tennis
was
elbow by the end of it.
it was horrible. I felt jacked by the end of the day though, because I was like,
Bicep curls all day.
I said, honestly, thank God I had the 2870 for that, because like, imagine changing lenses without a harness all day.
Yeah, that's gotta be rough. It's gotta be rough. I've never had it happen, but I'm like, freaking out about
It was
that.
the worst. I'm never going to forget it now, ever again.
Yeah,
It was the
that's
worst
scary.
experience.
Yeah. The
You don't realize how much you rely on that thing until.
Well, especially when you have to go like fix something and you need
Yeah.
to go with your hands. That it just needs to.
So what would you prefer though? So like two
I need the
cameras with a
harness.
you need
Yeah,
a
I need
harness.
the harness.
You need the
Now,
harness.
do you do
Because that would serve my client better.
There you go.
Harness.
Okay. It's all about serving clients better.
over the shoulder harness, or do you do the spider holster?
I am developing my own strap, actually.
Really?
Yes. It's in production for kind of way too long, but you will be able to put your logo or anything you want etched into the leather. So name, actually I have it. I guess I could bring it out and show you, and then it's kind of like a Black Rapid slide.
Oh, like a crossbody kind of thing?
Crossbody. I don't shoot with two bodies, so maybe I would end up with a double at some point. But yeah, just a crossbody. Yeah, I will shoot with a spider holster when I photograph a golf tournament that I photograph. If I've got like heavier lenses that need to be here, although I should be, fingers crossed, shooting some NFL football this year.
Nice.
And they told me, the Chiefs photographer, Steven Sender, told me that he uses harnesses because just the act of like not being able to literally drop your camera
That's
here
my problem with them.
versus here, it's like you don't move fast enough.
That's something I never noticed at the NFL sidelines, like what they use, like in there, like because you always see like they're obviously using like the long telephotos on monopods and stuff like that,
yep.
but like are they using a harness or are they like for their secondary, like for their wides, like so
Yeah.
that's interesting that like I never thought about that.
He
until
said
now.
harness. He said just because like
You could drop
it
'em,
takes
yeah.
2 seconds, like you have to look and you've now missed whatever's happening.
Exactly. That's I mean I've been shooting with a harness now since like 2017, and I don't remember shooting without.
You should have seen me. The hustle I had to do to make this shit
Could
work.
imagine.
I got real creative real quick. That got to talk to Britt, because I was just like, seriously, I don't know how I did this whole day. without my
Yeah.
I'd be
harness.
looking for like string.
And
Yeah.
she was saying, she was like, you don't have to shoot with two bodies as a second shooter. You've said that to me too. Like you really don't.
Tell my seconds all the time. You don't have
But
to shoot
I
two bodies.
always do, because I want.
Right.
It's just a personal thing. Like I
Yeah.
always do anyway.
I would second shoot with two bodies too.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a habit, like it's but I think if you don't have a harness, oh my
God, it was awful.
Awful.
Oh my God. Like when she told me that, I was like,
The first thing he was like, "No, are you okay?"
I wasn't even like busting her chops about
No,
it.
he
I
didn't
just-
at all.
I was just like, oh, that sucks, man. I'm
So sorry for
sorry.
your loss.
I'm so sorry.
It was bad.
Oh my God. Well, this was a great conversation. This was an extra long conversation. But Vanessa, tell everybody like where they could find you. Like if you have a project going on, stuff like that. I know you have a nonprofit. We didn't even get to talk about
Yeah,
that.
talk about what
Yeah.
you're doing there,
Well,
because that's amazing.
I mean, the place to find me is on Instagram. So if you go to Instagram, you send me a DM with the words Prince for Water, those exact words, it will show you the nonprofit I started. I went to Kenya. Long story short, you can't walk into the village and see children in that situation and not want to do something about it. And I have a very impatient personality, so I did something about it. And you can get prints or just leave a donation as little as $10, literally changes lives. And it's all going to help build wells in Kenya.
Wow, amazing. Yeah. That's incredible. And they can find you like that's your Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the same name, Vanessa Joy?
I mean, yeah, everything's Vanessa Joy. You could just go to vanessajoy.com and then you could go to for photographers little section. There's tons of free education, YouTube links, and there should be a mastermind link in there soon. It's on a waiting list right now, but
Awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you
on
for
the show.
coming
was
all
incredible.
this way.
This is such a good conversation. I love that.
So glad.
All right. Vanessa Joy, everybody. Yeah. All right. Lauren, where can they find you?
You can find me at LaurenO'BrienPhoto.com and Lauren O'Brien Photo and the Feral Photog on Instagram and TikTok. Mike, where can they find you?
At Michael Kazara Photo on Instagram, TikTok, as well as my website. And you can find us at the Vendor Table Pod on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, as well as
Our Facebook group.
Guys, it's been fun. Catch you next time.
Okay, bye.